dive into authentic conversations about ourselves and our community, exploring topics that uplift and inspire us, from personal growth to social change. So grab your teacup and get ready to join the conversation. Sippers. Good morning, good morning, good morning, sippers. So, you read the title. Let's get right into the conversation. Have your teacups out and ready to get filled. Remember, when you come into the room, to like and subscribe. There are culprits behind the jailbreak in Orleans, right? In New Orleans, okay? So, who are they? Let's expose them now. Okay. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen with the sippers. Remember, when you come into the room, like and subscribe. Let's get into who let out the criminals in New Orleans. So, so let me get my screen up and sharing. Okay. We have been having technical difficulties all week. I don't know. I'm pushing play, pushing.
Parish Justice Center has now been arrested and booked into jail. The district attorney claims the worker shut off water to the toilet, helping 10 inmates escape on Friday. Police have since arrested 4 of the escaped inmates. 6 remain on the run. ABC's Faith Abube is in New Orleans with the latest. And Faith, you just spoke with the district attorney about the arrest. What more can you tell us?
Yeah, Stephanie, we were speaking with the district attorney when that employee was arrested and booked into jail. So details coming to us as it was happening. The DA telling me that he's extremely frustrated that there was such a breakdown in the system and that what they had suspected for days, that this may have been an inside job. The evidence has actually led them to that. According to investigators, soon after the escape on Friday, they started interviewing employees at the jail there, and they actually talked to Sterling Williams, the maintenance worker there, and he was the one who admitted to investigators that during the escape, in the early hours of the escape, the inmates asked him to turn off the water to the toilet, that they would move out of the way and crawl behind. You remember, we've been reporting that the inmates were able to get into a cell, move away a toilet, crawled through a hole, and got away from the jail running on an interstate. He, according to investigators, Sterling Williams, was part of that plot because he was able to turn off that water. I just want to read some of what the DA had to tell us in terms of how this happened. And he said, you know, even Stephen Wonder can see that this was an inside job. 10 violent offenders don't make their way into a pod made for 2 and make good their escape through concrete, rebar, and barbed wire without being some sort of, or getting some sort of assistance. So right now the investigation is continuing. This is part of a larger investigation that involves other employees there at the jail. We know 3 other employees have been suspended. The DA says we could see more arrests in this case.
And
Stephanie.
Turn now to the latest on the Louisiana jailbreak. 5 of the 10 escapees are still on the run as 2 more people have been arrested for helping them. Faith Abube is in New Orleans with the story. Good morning, Faith.
Yeah, good morning to you, George. Only one of the inmates, authorities are accusing these women of either contacting before or helping after they escaped this jail, has now been recaptured. There are 2 others who are part of that group still unaccounted for. This morning, 2 women arrested in New Orleans, accused of helping some of the inmates who escaped a local jail nearly a week ago. Courtney Harris allegedly transporting 2 of the fugitives to multiple locations. And Cavante Baptiste charged with helping 19-year-old Corey Boyd get food before his arrest at his grandmother's house.
If you help them, you will be prosecuted.
5 suspects still unaccounted for after 10 inmates crawled through a hole behind a toilet in a cell and escaped the Orleans Parish jail last Friday. A jail plumber, Sterling Williams, arrested for shutting off water to the toilet. His attorney calling allegations that his client helped the inmates ridiculous, telling ABC News the day before the escape, a deputy verbally asked Williams to shut off the water because the fixture was clogged.
The man did his job and unfortunately was used by these escapees and is now being sacrificed by the sheriff.
And Michael, even though that arrest warrant also says that an inmate threatened Sterling to shank him if he refused to shut off that water, his attorney dismissed that, saying that it was mischaracterized in his interview with authorities and that his client did nothing wrong and he was just doing his job.
Okay, tea sippers. There have been several apprehensions of some culprits in the New Orleans Parish jailbreak last week, okay? We do know that almost all of the 10 offenders were convicted and should have been on their way in transport to prison. However, they were not. They were left back at the jail enough time to come up with this grand scheme to escape. And there have been arrests made on the behalf of the jail COs that have helped inmates. There have been arrests of people on the street that have helped the inmates. If you help the inmates, they say you, the jail escapees, you will also be punished. Okay, so we know that there are now 5 recaptured prisoners. Okay, be aware that these prisoners are very dangerous. Most of them were convicted of murder, severe battery, assault, robbery, apes, things of that matter. This has been Tanisha Talks Teas. We're going to keep you live and updated on all things New Orleans Parish jail escape. Okay, and they're also looking into the sheriff and the capital of New Orleans building because sorry guys, I will get that when I'm done, because they have been mismanaging money. Okay, funds were given to the New Orleans Parish in the upper extents of amounts of $577 million. However, the jails are falling apart, easily escapable, and rotting away. Okay, that's also in the updated story of the New Orleans Parish jailbreak. This has been Tanisha Talks Teas. Remember, when you catch this on the replay, to like and subscribe. Have a great rest of your day and be safe. Thanks for watching. Remember to show your support by liking, subscribing, and sharing. It's a blessing. Keep your teacups filled and ready for my next upload. Until then, stay inspired and remember, always stay vigilant.